Hi, eighth graders. Today we started our mini unit on scientific notation. And so you should have this note sheet out in front of you. And we're going to start talking about that. So, scientific notation. This is a way to write really big or really small numbers. It's kind of a shortcut. Okay. We can write really big numbers or really small numbers with scientific notation. If our number is bigger than 1, we're going to be using positive exponents. And if our number is smaller than 1, not negative, but just a really tiny number, like a tiny decimal, then our exponent is going to be negative. Okay, and this is the way it works. So here we have a pretty big number. This number is actually 7,500,000,000,000. So scientific notation is you have two parts to it. You have a number in front, and then it's times 10 to a certain power. Okay, and so this first number has to be 1 or bigger, and it has to be less than 10. So it's somewhere between 1 and 10. Okay, so in this number here, this is our standard notation. I could move my decimal point right here between the 7 and the 5 to make a number between 1 and 10. So that's my first number. And now my power on my 10 is going to be the number of spots I had to move. So I moved from this spot, which is where my decimal point was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We moved 12 places. Okay, and so 7.5 times 10 to the 12th is how we would write this number in scientific notation. Okay, the second factor is a power of 10. So let's practice a few. Here's another one. About 6,300,000 people visited the Eiffel Tower in the year 2000. Write this number in scientific notation. So for our first number, we need a number between 1 and 10. So my decimal point is here. If I move in the problem, if I put my decimal point here, I'd have the number 63. That's not between 1 and 10. Right here, though, at 6.3, that is between 1 and 10. So my first number is 6.3. I'm going to write times 10. And now my power is how many places I had to move from my original decimal point to my new one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had to move 6 spots. So that's how we write that number. Okay, here is a very tiny number. This we would say is 37. Let's see, that would be 3,700 thousandths. Okay, a very tiny number. So again, start with where your decimal point is. Move into the problem until you get a number between 1 and 10. That would be right here between the 3 and the 7. 3.7 times 10. And now we are going to write our exponent. This is a tiny number, so my exponent will be negative. Okay, I'm going to put the negative sign there right away. How many places did I move from my old decimal to my new? 1, 2, 3, 4. I moved 4 places. Okay, so that is a negative 4. Let's try another one. Now we're going from scientific notation to standard notation, so writing it the regular way. So I start like this. Write the number, the first number. This 4 tells me how many spots I have to move and in what direction. This is a positive exponent, so I want to make this number bigger. So I'm going to move 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to fill in the bottom of my waves here with zeros. Now I'm going to rewrite the number without any of those waves. I'm going to put my commas in the right spot, 36,000. Okay, number 4 is another example, 7.21 times 10 to the negative third. I'm going to recopy the number. Okay, negative 3 tells me this is a tiny number. The negative tells me that. So to make this number smaller, I want to move this direction. I'm going to move my decimal this way to make the number smaller. Okay, so I'm going to move 3 places. 1, 2, 3, new decimal point. I'm going to fill in the bottom of my waves with zeros. Okay, now I'm going to recopy the number so it looks like that. Okay, so this is my number in standard form. Okay, let's go down to the quick check. And if you're watching this at home, I think it would be better for you to pause the video right now and try these 4 on your own and then press play again when you're ready to check. Okay, so 5,400,000. Again, we need our first number has to be between 1 and 10. So that would be between the 5 and the 4. So I'm going to write that down. 5.4 times 10. And I'm going to count how many places I moved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I moved 6 places. And this was, this is a big number, so it's a positive exponent. Okay, this one, I'm going to start where my decimal point was. I'm going to move in until I am between a number that is 1 and 10. So it would be between the 8 and the 6. So I'm going to copy 8.67 times 10. I'm going to count how many places I moved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I moved 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. It's a -5 because this is a tiny number, negative exponent. Number 3, write in standard notation. So I'm going to recopy the number. I'm going to move my decimal point 6 places, and I'm moving to the right because I'm going to make this number big. Positive exponent, big number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fill in with zeros. Recopy. And now put in your commas. So every third digit gets a comma. 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. 1.99 times 10 to the -5th in standard notation. Okay, write that first digit, those first digits down. The -5 tells me I have to get smaller, so I'm moving to the left. And that's how many spots I'm going to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decimal point. Fill in with zeros, and now recopy without any of the extra stuff. And a lot of times we put a 0 here in the front as well.